Good morning, guys and girls. Another edition of this blasted motorhome that's now starting to really get on my wick. I was going to start, let's see if we can focus somewhere properly. I was going to start the kitchen unit and getting that installed, but we've hit a problem, something I completely forgot about. If I put that kitchen in place, along there, down, crossed, up, round, all that lot, it blocks all of this. Now, we spoke about it in a previous episode about removing the floor because it is just too low to the ground and I can't get any seals in. Every rainstorm I'm getting so far, because I'm on a slope where I am, every rainstorm is coming in through the roof. When this thing's fully out, it's coming in through the roof, draining down and getting in under the floor, and it's destroying the floor. I'm actually now worried that I am going to have to start thinking about a lino over the top of this because it has lifted and has damaged it so much that I don't think we're going to have a, by the time I finished, I don't think we're going to have a floor left that's going to be salvageable. I need to start that before I put that in. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some I'm going to lacquer the unit up today still. I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring it in. I'm still going to do that, but I'll have to get shoved over there out of the way for now. What I'm going to do is get some sabre saw blades or reciprocation saw blades, and we're going to cut all the steels around the bottom so we can detach that floor round the side, along the inside, underneath. We'll slide the thing out and we'll do that, and then we'll put some blocks in underneath. We'll cut the fiberglass. I reckon I'll be resheathing the sides again. I can't see them staying because I can't get access to anything. That's the same with the internals as well. I can see me cutting all of this out because we're getting rid of it up to there. That's just a mess. We're going to go flush straight across, so when this thing slid out, it is flush with the wall. Any extra space that's required. Wow. I had a vote. Does the floor go or does the door stay? I voted for it to go. I won the vote. Very democratic way I did it as well. Very. I had 1 vote to 0 in my favour. So, I won the vote. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So where we're heading next with this, I've drawn a line there. I don't know if you can see that with my foot is. We're going to cut that post. We're going to do the same on that post. And then those ribs that run all the way along, we'll cut those as well. We'll cut along the fiberglass on the side. Where that line is there, we'll cut along there, and then that floor should drop to the ground on the outside of the truck. That's out of the way. Once we've got that out of the way, we'll slide the slide out back in, and then we'll start thinking about getting some wood to reinforce up where I've cut, and then at some point we will start a new floor. What I plan to do is use those steels that you see already, cut them off the bit that's overhanging at the front and weld them back on, but not as many as there were before. I've still yet to remove this panel. I wasn't planning to, but it ain't working, so we'll get rid of that as well. Chuck all this rubbish away. See the damp that's been getting in from the rain up in that corner up there. It's been running straight down on and everywhere, and it's destroyed the wood. That wood is weatherproof. Ain't that weatherproof? It's delaminated. It's terrible stuff. That came from Wicks. Chinese made, no doubt. I know people are very prejudiced to the Chinese when it comes to manufacturing, but it's rubbish wood, and I do believe that's where they get their supplies from. I don't know what it's made from. A rubber plant, I suspect. A lot of plywood is coming over now from rubber trees. Mahogany is it's not as popular. Well, I wouldn't say it's not as popular, it's just not available. It's a rubber plant, the tree gets cut down, it's just recycling. Sometimes recycling is good, and sometimes the benefits from it are terrible. So that's pray the floor under my laminate don't go the same way, because it's of the same brand. This end up here is some good quality stuff I found down the yard. Look like marine ply, but I don't know. But the back stuff is just cheap muck. So I don't know how well that's going to hold out. I'm a bit worried about that now. Now that I've seen this, that does worry me a bit. It's gone. You can see the scratches, look, the damage that's caused, but it's gone. A gaping hole. Let's see. Yep. I ain't really got anything to say on it. I'm struggling. It was a lot of work putting that together. That's going to be a lot of work fixing it. I'm going to have to run another bar across there. I'm going to have to get welder out for that. I'm not doing that today, too tired. So anyway, the order that we're doing this in, we're going to get the floor made up. Not yet. I want to get these walls fixed next at the bottom so they're covered. Then I want to get the kitchen unit in. As you know, that's now lacquered if it doesn't get destroyed between now and getting it in here. Once that bit has been done, then we'll return back to this job and we'll start welding up the floors, putting new beams back in. We've got to put a runner across to join the steels in. I'm not sure about using that ply. I think that's had it, to be honest with you. Got damp and it's destroyed. So new piece of plywood to go in. I'll have to purchase that before my MOT expires in my Jeep, which is not long now. I don't know what I'm going to do for transport when that happens. We get the floor in, and then we can start thinking about putting the battens around the outside edge and underneath, so we can get a nice seal. And while I've still got access to that bit, I might order some angle iron, run that across, so I've got something for that outer piece to stick to, and then maybe even go as far as putting in the rubber seals. But I've got to grind all of those steel ends off before I can do anything really. There is some wood to go around, like I did on the other slide out. So if you've been watching my videos, you'll know, as you can see on that badly cut piece of steel, there is a piece of wood there, ready for the rubber seals to go against. So that's pretty much it really. I don't have a lot more to say on this, so I'm packing up for the day. I've had enough. Right, it's in, best as I can get it. Had to break off a piece of wood. My saw, where is it? Blade is completely blunt on that, and I could not get that to cut straight. Oh, I'm making this hard for myself really, so I'm going to have to invest in a new blade because there's more wood to cut, obviously, with everything going on. But we're going to put a piece of trim around this because it was sitting too high against that piece of rubber, and luckily I haven't damaged the lacquer on that when I removed it. So yeah, that's okay, it works. It didn't come out too bad. You can see the speck or flake I put in there. Glad I did that. And as you can see, we've got gaps where the joins are, so we are going to have to put some. I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put car filler over that, all over, literally get it in those cracks as much as I can, and then we're going to sand that straight back with a DA until we can see bare wood again. Once we can see bare wood, we know we've got rid of all of the gaps, and then I'll go over it again with another coat. Unfortunately, this door didn't come out so great. Down here is perfect, but this door's a bit patchy, so we've got to go over that door again. So we'll go over the whole thing again. So don't get excited, we're not finished. I've pretty much run out of supplies. Got to get that bulkhead built that side so I can get the controller unit in for the water boiler. We need a couple of fitments for the pump. What else was there? Can't remember. I've got to figure out that wiring as well, because in my stupidness and haste of doing this, I put two wires marked 12 volt fridge and one 240 volt fridge. Well, I don't know why I did that, because there's only one 12 volt on this. So as far as I'm aware anyway. So yeah, we've got a little bit more work to do. So my next plan for tomorrow is to get that wall finished, get that done, have a clear up again, move everything out of the way that's in my way, and we'll get the rest of that wall done, which will be similar done to this, once we've got that done. Right, we're back to this temporarily. I put a load of filler on this last night excuse me, just to see how deep some of these crevices were. And after sanding pretty much all that lacquer off, that's the results of the crevices. You can see the fillers. Now I've gone over it with a real harsh disc and then a smoother one. No point going into a specific specifications, that's the word I was looking for. My English is not working. Actually, my English never works, but hey ho. So we've got that done. Happy enough with that. Really, ideally, I should be putting wood sealers on this and then lacquering over the top. I'd certainly save some money on lacquer, that's for sure. So we sanded that one back. We've also hit that one because we had some rot developing there and I wanted to fill up the cracks for that. So we're just waiting for the charger to charge the batteries, and then we'll whack over this with a smooth disc and try and get that surface a little bit better than what it is. That door as well will need another going over, just gently, nothing spectacular. And then we can put the last 2 to maybe 3 coats of lacquer on top of that. And we're going to leave this in here to dry for about 2 weeks. I want that to cure proper because we've got to physically manhandle this thing to get it up in the air. And I can't do that back here again. Now, a little story to tell you. About, I don't know, 10 years ago we'll say, when I was into boating, I went down to a very popular boatyard just to have a wander around and see if there's anything thrown out and stuff like that, as you do. Cut a long story short, I did some what you Americans would call dumpster diving, what we call skip jumping diving, and I found a tin of wood sealer, almost brand new, sitting in the skip. It was I think it was international, and it was polyurethane based. And I used it, I varnished up after, it came out brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Toughened the old, ooh, look at that. Wow. Anyway, polyurethane and thinners, look at that go. Looks like you've got to be bloody quick with this stuff. I didn't want it fizzing, so I mixed it with thinners, but I'm looking at this now and it's like, crikeys. I've never witnessed that. It's hot. Look at that fizzing. Wow. I've never seen that before. Check that out. That only took less than walking in the house to get the camera for that to happen. But I managed to get some on there, so I'm happy enough with that. Don't know if I'm going to get any on here. That'll have to be sanded. I'll say that jar's now done. That is utterly amazing. Don't you just love chemistry? Hope this bugger don't explode on me. Look at that fizzing away in there. Anyway, this was an experiment. So I painted it on and I'm going to leave it to dry, and then I'm going to give it a very, very light sanding, and then in a couple of days time I will then go over it again. Hopefully we'll have a really smooth surface. I wonder what they use then to make that stuff with. So you've got to be pretty quick with it. So a little at a time. I actually put quite a bit in there. A little at a time just to thin it out. The reason I thinned it down is I didn't want it to do exactly what it has done on the wood. What it has done in the jar. Now it may not do. So we will see. As I said before, experiment. I love experimenting with things. So maybe next time I'll try it with something else. That soon fizzed. Wow. It is sealed. I've sanded it back. And it feels really smooth. I can still feel some of these lines, but I think once we put about 3 coats of lacquer on that, sand each layer down till we hit the last one, I think a lot of those will be gone, which is pretty much what I've done here. I mean, we're about 4 layers on here now, and as you can see, in some areas it's completely smoothed it out. but you still got these that I can't get rid of them, so there's no point trying. I'm going to be here hours. I'll be putting layer upon layer upon layer of flipping lacquer over it. That's going to cost a fortune, so I can live with that. Just that one's the same, that one's the same. It's just old wood that's weathered, and the grain has opened up. I mean, it really opened up on this one because it started to rot, as you can see here, but that's got the polyurethane glue over that. It's been sanded back. There's car filler in there as well, so that should come out quite okay. We had a few areas where it had fizzed, here being the worst, because you saw it activating in the jar. That was amazing, by the way. So sanded back now. There was a couple of little other areas where I went a little bit too heavy. I reckon 2 coats of that would have been fine. I mean, I could make up another one and quickly whiz another coat over, but I mean, where do you stop? Do you know what I mean? I could end up putting 10 and still not get any better results than what I've got now. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. That's going to come up good. So we'll lacquer that up next week. The weekend's here now, and I don't want to upset the neighbours, God forbid. So well, I ain't gonna lie, it ain't great, but it works. What I do plan to do is to put loads of ribs where the joins are. That's where my shelves are going to be. I can then strengthen that wall up by ribbing them, and I'll be ribbing this side as well. I'm limited on the amount of doors I actually have for this side, so any open cupboards where I'm just putting shelves in, they're going to get the board at the back will be fully visible, so that will get another coat of PVC put behind it, or paint, just to bring it about with the rest. Bit ripply down there, can't be helped. I'm hoping this glue will work, I really am. I don't want to be pulling all this lot off again and relaying it, especially when everything is in position. So no, so I'm going to call this video, I think we're there Saturday. Tomorrow next week we'll be concentrating our resources on that bulkhead and replacing that floor. I would just like to say thank you very much for viewing. Please share the videos if you think they're worthy of sharing. I didn't put any music with the last one because somebody moaned at me the music was too loud, and I've had people moaning about that so much over the past. When I played that video back, the one that was loud at the end, that didn't seem loud on my phone, so I don't understand, and a few people have said the same thing. Maybe check the settings on your phones or your TVs, maybe you got something set wrong. I don't know. It was fine on mine. It was fine while I was recording it, but the last one I didn't put any music on because I wanted to see how many likes and dislikes I got, and so far it's all likes. 10 I think was the last count. So we'll see where we end up. So thank you very much for your views, thank you very much for your likes. All comments appreciated, even the shitty ones. I actually quite like those as well. So see you next week. Bye. On next week's video we will try and tackle that bulkhead. That's job number 1. That job will take me all week, and then we're going to readdress the floor on here and start thinking about cutting some hardwood in order to make some seals up. Now there is going to be a slight change in the programming of next week. What I want to do, because my numbers are low, things are not as interesting. I'm editing a lot of stuff out to get a 20-minute video at the end of the week. So what I'm thinking of doing is no music whatsoever, and literally every day of filming I will go upstairs and I will chuck the entire day's worth. I'll edit it down to 20 minutes and I'll chuck 1 day's worth, and I would very much appreciate you guys commenting if you prefer that routine or if you prefer an end of the week video instead. I just would like to know where I stand with what you guys enjoy. The thumbs up and thumbs downs, I'm getting a fair few thumbs up, but I'm not getting as much as I used to. The views are averaging out now. They're just under 200 views. I could do with getting my subscriptions up higher, a lot higher. But the way things are going at the moment, I think once this van is done, I'm going to stop videoing. I'm not going to do any more. unless things start to get popular, which is a shame because there's quite a few places I'd like to visit and show you guys. I want to show you Suffolk. Suffolk is beautiful. East Anglia has a lot to offer. There's a lot here to offer, and I'd like to show you all of that, but with the way things are at the moment on my YouTube account, and the fact that trying to pay Google, and I said I'd never do this, but I've been debating about paying Google to advertise the channel, but the problem is I've got some problem with the pay system. What happened was, a few years back, I did a Google payment, forgot about it, and then when I went through my bank statement, I think it was about a month later, I spotted it, didn't recognise it, got my money back. Google didn't like it, and basically shut the payment account down, and I've tried to repair it, but Google ain't playing ball. They've also stolen $20. YouTube has stolen $20 out of my ad account that I had before they changed the rules, so I don't know where I stand with all of this. So I'm actually reluctant to continue doing any more videos after this on YouTube. What I am thinking of doing, if I do continue, is moving over to another video site that I found. The actual video site itself is not as popular, but it does mean I can start Google ads straight away, which will help finance some of the trips. So we'll see where we end up. I'll start another account on this other place and start firing up some videos on there. I'll advertise that. Oh, speaking of advertising, we also have a Facebook page, Adventures with Motive Facebook page. You are welcome to post up your vehicles and your progress on there. That is also where I'm going to be posting stuff on here as well. I am on Instagram and Twitter, but not doing too well on there at the moment, so I won't be following those sites through unless they get more popular, because I really just can't be arsed with them, if I'm honest to you. It's not me being lazy, it's just that I don't like the sites, just don't like them. They're a bit strange. You can't really interact as well as you can with Facebook. So yeah, Adventures with Motive on Facebook. If you want to go and log in, you'll see some photos going up as I progress through the builds. Now we are definitely out of here. Bye.